Hey guys, I'm Sai and welcome to Ace Podcast Nation and welcome to Keeping It Real with Andrew Thompson. Today we will talk some wrestling, some pro-graps, but just before we do, a couple of plugs. You can catch all our shows. We do shows on football, mental health, films, TV, conspiracy theories, MMA, boxing, wrestling, football and more. YouTube.com/Ace Podcast Nation. Subscribe, and you can get the audio versions of all the usual podcasting apps, radio platforms, and the like. Joining me to talk about the ridiculous world that is pro wrestling is Post Wrestling's writer, interviewer, the man with his own YouTube channel, Andrew Thompson Interviews, custom URL. Mr. Andrew Thompson, how are you, sir? There is Goldberg. Yeah, get him off my screen. Get him off my goddamn screen.
It's been a long time. It's been like a week, but
it's been like 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I'm glad to be back. Thanks for always having me. I miss doing a pod, my brother. It's always good seeing you. I'm glad you're doing good. You're looking healthy. Your skin looking clear, folks. Let me tell you something. The key to having your skin clear, make sure you wash your face and don't be racist. Besides following those rules, and that is and that is why he is not aging. This is what happens.
I'm really glad that I haven't got too many spots today. Now after you said that, like Jesus. But how are you, my friend? You okay?
Doing good, man. It's a quiet 2 weeks.
Quiet, just a nice relaxing run on the news beat. Nothing much to report.
Nothing has been happening at all.
Nothing much to talk about. So we didn't do a show last week, so we didn't talk about the old WWE Backlash with the greatest match of all time on it. What did you think, just generally, of the show overall?
I honestly can't even remember much from the show. To be honest with you, it's been so much happening, bro. Like it's even hard to remember like what happened a few days ago. But like, just as far as what I can't remember, the Edge and Orton match was really good. Like I really like that. Like I honestly think it would have been like received better, and people would have even maybe called it like one of the greatest matches of the year. Like, and it's still gonna be one of the greatest matches of the year, regardless. But I think it would have held better if WWE would have just completely removed that whole greatest match ever tagline. But I felt like it also helped Edge and Orton in a way because they felt like they had something to prove. So they went out there and tried
100%.
Do the very best that they could. And they did real good, but that was a really good match. Like I'll end up probably going like to watch that back. Like as far as like matches of the year, that's definitely gonna be up there with like the Thunder Rosa versus Allison Kay from Into the Fire, Ospreay versus Hiromu from Wrestle Kingdom, Naito versus Okada from Wrestle Kingdom, Kenny and Hangman versus the Bucks at Revolution. Like, you know,
some good company in that. There were some good matches. I really enjoyed Backlash. There was a couple of like hokey bits which I wasn't too keen on, but generally I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. Big news of the week, mate. Right, so first of all, obviously we can't do a wrestling podcast without kind of addressing or mentioning the speaking out movement. So here's what I'm going to say on it, and I'm not going to say anything further for the time being, is every single allegation that's been made against every single wrestler or person involved in wrestling should be thoroughly investigated by the police. And then journalists, podcasters, whoever can talk about it. In my opinion, and it's only my opinion, it is irresponsible to discuss the allegations in detail and speculate about people. These are people's lives. These are things that people have been through. I think it's reckless, and I think it's not a good look to just speculate about these things. If I had it made my way, none of it would have happened, because I just hate the thought of people having to have gone through such heinous things. But we are where we are. There's some big names being accused of things. There's been some big names leaving some companies already. There's been some big names been staying with companies also. But when the time is right, I'm planning to do a show on the whole speaking out movement, which will probably be, I think, me, hopefully Andrew, Alex McCarthy of Talksport, and a couple of ladies from the UK scene, which I've been speaking to about that. But at the moment, the time's not right for that, in my opinion. And at the end of the day, there's also the legal ramifications. If you go around speculating about people, it's a rocky road, and that's why I would implore everybody who's been criticising wrestling journalists and media and saying, "Oh, they're not real journalists," and because they're not reporting it. Well, actually, no, that's what makes them real journalists. Is they're not just writing speculation and allegations. They're waiting to see where the police reports go before they, go in depth on these things, because that's what real journalists do. Um, Anything you want to add, my friend?
Yeah, man. Like it's kind of very sick in a certain way just to hear like how many women have gone through these things in wrestling, and it just I think the notion that of boys will be boys and the quote unquote boys club of professional wrestling, like that shit needs to end. It needs
God,
to
yeah,
stop.
used to
Like
go.
you can't like and one thing that I'm really seeing and I'm really glad is like you're seeing like so many different promotions. Well, not so many, but like I've seen a couple come out and they've put women in these positions of power, like director and creative like head of creative booking and stuff like that. Like Thunder Rosa, she created her own promotion called Mission Pro, and it's like only women will be involved in it, like from the camera crew to the audio crew to the ring announcer to the commentary table. Like it's all women only. So like I think that's a real cool thing, and like I think like this needed to happen, bro. Like it need wrestling needed to like the clean house, like because it's a lot of like just messed up people. I was about to drop the F bomb, but I couldn't do
Mm-hmm.
that. But like, it's a lot of messed up people in the wrestling. So I'm glad it's happening. It needed to get cleaned up, and hopefully from here, it's you know, things start to take a turn. But like, I just know as far as like the British scene goes,
It's gonna
like
take a long time to
it,
recover.
it's gonna take a minute, man. But especially in the U.S. scene too. I'm glad that's getting cleaned up as well. But again, I think this just needed to happen, and I'm glad it happened. So, just from now on, it's I'm just tell fellas, I promise you, it is not that hard to be chill. I promise you, it's not to be just not an asshole and not be so like damn aggressive towards women. Like this, I promise you, it's not difficult at all. Like just shit is like sick reading some of this stuff, like what some people have gone through. And the crazy thing is, like you reading some of these stories about men that have gone through these things. Like Keith Lee put out his
Yeah.
statement about when he got, it from he didn't directly say it, but what you can take from it is that he was drugged by a woman and taken advantage of
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. But like that just goes to show you that it can happen to anybody. So man, just that's pretty much what I got to say on it without
Yeah, without going into the
too,
individual things.
yeah.
So the one thing I'll add to that actually is like the last show we did together a couple of weeks ago, I discussed, and I think I ended the show by saying it's not difficult to be a decent human being.
It's not.
It's not difficult to not be a dick, and I don't understand it. So one thing we can discuss is there's been a couple of people let go. So we can't really go into the kind of the allegations for each person, but we can discuss the fact that they've been fired. So you've got Joey Ryan was fired by Impact. Um, I will ask you just briefly: do you think he'll ever work in wrestling again?
Not a chance.
No, me neither. I think he is done, and
Not a chance.
rightly so. If if everything which has been alleged and like we should say that everything is alleged at this point, but um, Joey Ryan in particular, there was a lot.
No, I
He
believe
was.
that. I believe that. I'm not.
Mm,
I'm not even gonna like go to. It's just like one thing that I've learned, man, is like when a bunch of people are saying the same thing about one person in particular, now it's probably true. So I get what you're saying as far as like the legal ramifications that you can't just, you know what I'm saying, because you can't legally get sued for that, like, but like it's just like the Joey Ryan when it's like completely like just obvious at this point that is what it is, and he deleted all his social medias and stuff like that. He deleted the bar wrestling social media, like that promotion is done. You know what I mean? Like that just gives it up right there. But like I completely get what you're saying as far as like the legal ramifications of you like just coming out and calling somebody a rapist or something like that. You as a podcaster like that, and somebody hears that, you could get you with some stuff. But yeah, but just as that, I completely believe every single thing that has came out about Joey Ryan, like everything.
Yeah, and I mean, clearly Impact were not happy, and clearly the amount of allegations against him meant that they decided to let him go. They also fired Micheal Elgin. He had some allegations against him a couple of years back.
Yeah.
And I believe the case was dropped. I believe, I might be wrong because I'm going off memory, but I believe the case was dropped through lack of evidence. But, he still got a job with Impact, even with those allegations behind him. And then he's had more allegations against him, and they've fired him. Dave Lagana, I think he resigned from the NWA after some allegations against him, which, as we were just discussing off air, that's massively damaging for the NWA. I don't think people realise how much Dave Lagana does for the NWA, from video editing to social media. He interacts with, with people on social media to promote the shows. I know he did a lot of work with they did some work with like podcasters who promote and watch NWA. I think like Wrestling Days and people like that. He did a lot of stuff like that, creative, all this stuff. So I think that's going to be, from a business standpoint, is going to be massively damaging to the NWA. Travis Banks, Liguero, and Jack Gallagher all fired by the WWE. Jack Gallagher was let go almost instantly. I think he was gone within 24 hours of the allegation, which I think probably means that either he admitted it or there was some sort of evidence which was pretty solid for them to cut ties, because he's been on TV a lot over the past month or two. But it's not like he's been sat at home. He's been on NXT, he's been on 205 Live, I think he's been on Main Event. But yeah, they've let them go. Travis Banks and Liguero followed shortly after, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just having a quick look. So you had Jimmy Havoc has gone into rehab. I'd imagine that he is probably done with the AEW. But they were not going to fire him while he's in rehab. That's just my guess. Sammy Guevara, which he's been lumped in with all these people, and it's completely different for me. Now, he said something horrible, really obscene about Sasha Banks. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago on a podcast. Really, like, he was young, and it was one of those things where he was just saying stuff to shock and to get attention.
No, so just to jump in right here, like I feel like a lot of people have been like, and even prior to the allegations, I was a big fan of Sammy Guevara and what he's doing in AEW, but I feel like people got cut the shit with the whole he was young stuff. Look, I'm young. I'm 23.
Don't say shit like that.
I don't say shit, like, even in private, I don't say dumb shit like it's like, come on, like, who says shit like that? Like, come on now, like,
up, mate. It's real
like,
fucked up.
Even like what, 2 years ago, I was 21 years old. Like, bro, I wasn't walking around saying stupid shit. Like, I don't even like talking.
No, well,
I'm doing a podcast right now saying I don't like talking, but like it's just like, I just don't want people to like be
hide behind his
yeah,
age.
like don't be excusing that just because like I get it. We all have said dumb shit in the past. Like everybody has said dumb shit in the past, but like ain't nobody saying no shit like that. Like he
Yeah, there's dumb shit
like
and there's
so,
dumb shit in that.
like come on, bro. And then like the thing about it was like the crazy thing about that whole situation. Sasha Banks like sunned him like in the best way possible. And what I mean by that is like she like treated that man like a child, and
Yeah.
it was kind of funny how she did it. Like she honestly could have put him on blast if she wanted to. Like she
Right,
could
yeah, rightly she could have as well.
she could have twisted the knife like real bad and like potentially got him to the point where AEW probably would have had to like
Yeah, had to fire him.
maybe had to let him go. Like she could have went that route, but
Oh
instead
god, yeah.
she said, you know what, you called me on the phone and we could talk about it, and she probably set him straight, which he then led to apologizing, and then she released her statement, and then she just left it alone after that. Like that just goes to show you the type of person that she is, number one. And that's why I said like I ain't meant to like try to make a joke out of it when I said she sunned him, but like she
Yeah.
did. Like
Yeah.
she really did. And then like I hope that he's able to like learn from this stuff. And then AEW they suspended him, and then
Yeah.
all his salary,
Indefinitely as well, isn't it?
yeah, all his salary is going to the I think a women's foundation in Florida. So
I
you know,
think the other aspect of it, I think he does get it. I think he gets the ramifications of it and how serious it was. I noticed when he did an apology video on his YouTube channel after, he had spoken to Sasha and the tweets and stuff come out about that. And he demonetized it, which kind of gives the indication that he understands that this isn't something to use to get to get views on your YouTube channel or whatever. It was, it's a serious thing. However, I will say that saying offensive, horrible shit is very different to all the allegations against people like David Starr and Joey Ryan and all of the many other people who've been listed. Um, there's a difference, isn't there? Do you know what I mean? Like what he said was horrific, but that's very different to sexually abusing someone, sexually assaulting someone, raping someone. Uh, and I just think that he doesn't probably deserve to be on that list, which keeps getting put around on all these different places, because it's two different things. Each case is separate and different for me. Each case has got a different set of circumstances, and each victim deserves a separate investigation. If you lump everyone together, I think that you take away from each individual, and that's what it is. That's just my opinion, though. Right, let's move. We'll move on. But like I say, we are going to do a show on the Speaking Out movement at some point, and also within that show, we're going to talk about where the UK wrestling scene can go from there, because one of the very few positives to come out of it is the women on the UK scene having a voice, but also people like Pete Dunne, who are so passionate about the UK scene, that they want to make a difference. They want to make it safer. They want to take it forward and make the changes. And I think that's a positive, and that's important that the UK scene doesn't die completely. I think NXT UK is probably dead though. Okay, Velveteen Dream also on that list, but we're not going to talk about the allegations against him. They're out there. They're very, very serious allegations. If they're true, he is done and probably going to prison. But the allegations at this point was involved in a car crash last night, as reported by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful. WWE confirmed to him that Velveteen Dream was involved in a car accident, but he has been released from hospital. Injuries suffered were not too serious. Probably not what he needed, mate, but he wasn't on TV this week. He wasn't on NXT, was he, this week? So yeah, it's Undertaker.
Yeah, those
Go
what's
on.
the name? Those allegations against Velveteen Dream. Yeah, those from the stuff that I've seen, it's just like like I agree, he's done. If these things are confirmed to be true,
Yeah,
like
if those messages are real, mate, he's done.
like
It's as simple as that.
it's a wrap for him, like
And
overall.
rightly
But
so. Rightly
oh
so.
yeah, for sure. Like he needs to go. Like that needs to be done and over. But like I'm honestly surprised they still kept him on TV after they came out initially. Like, cause he
Yeah.
was on TV like the very next,
Yeah, when the first ones came out.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then he had the NXT title match, and like I thought that was a wrap right
Mm.
then and there. But
Yeah, for sure.
but especially seeing as how things have come back up, and then him being involved in a car accident, like I ain't the type of person to be wishing no harm or somebody to the point where they could, potentially lose their life, because that's some serious shit. Like but it's just separating that from the other aspect. I do feel like if these things are true, Velveteen Dream got to go like immediately. Like did this thing need to be taken? Like I'm hoping that they're doing some like very thorough investigation right now, because I don't really think WWE has really commented on the
No.
allegations against Velveteen Dream at all. Like I know they released like a statement, like addressing their overall viewpoint on what's going on, but they haven't really said anything about Dream directly, seeing as how he was like kind of the first before the speaking out movement
Yeah.
started. So yeah, we gonna see. We definitely gonna see.
Yes, we will. It's going to be interesting where it goes from there. Um, the Undertaker, during the last part of the last ride, I haven't actually watched it all yet, but I heard that he said he is done, retired, and the AJ Styles match was his last. Do you believe that?
No,
Me neither.
too much money.
Too much money,
Too much
and
money,
I
bro.
just
You,
think,
you might not think gonna happen. I think they're gonna run it back at next year's WrestleMania, and they're gonna do like a real, not real, but a standard match. I'm about to say real
really, what
match,
do you
like
think?
they did. Nah, like the Boneyard match wasn't real, but like I mean, you know what I mean, like a standard
Yeah,
pro wrestling match. I think they're gonna run it back. They're gonna do AJ versus Undertaker, in California next year for WrestleMania.
but see, do you know what I would rather? I'd rather them do a feud each year with the Undertaker and use the kind of cinematic style matches to help him, because
Mm,
it's clear that he, like, the last couple of years, he hasn't been able to, his body hasn't been able to do what his mind has wanted, and he's struggled with some certain matches. So let's protect him, and
yeah.
doing a couple of cinematic matches a year, maybe Survivor Series and WrestleMania, he could do another 10 years. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
And I think because of the character, it's even easier. But whether they do that or not, or maybe
And
he is,
Undertaker got that 15-year contract with WWE. He he locked in
all because he was going to do that thing
Starcast.
with Conrad Thompson,
Yeah,
yeah,
he was
Starcast.
gonna do Starcast. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask you about. What did you think of the Street Profits versus Viking Raiders at Backlash? The kind of cinematic match they did. What did you think of that
It
with the
was goofy.
ninjas
It was
and the?
goofy as hell, bro.
It was
Goofy as
entertaining
hell.
though, wasn't it? It was
One, one,
funny.
one tweet that I saw, I was in tears laughing about, was like they had so many so many white dudes saying ninja, somebody was gonna slip up, and like I, I don't know why that was hilarious, bro. I was like, and I was kind of thinking about, I was like, y'all better stop saying that so fast, man. You better take your time saying that. Somebody gonna slip up, and then we gonna have a real issue. So I mean,
Yeah.
but what was crazy to me is like I'm interested what they gonna do with the guy Jordan. The guy's like, what he's the dude was like
7'6" or something
Jesus Christ, bro.
stupid.
I mean, I want to see what they gonna do with him. But like I typically like just in all sports, like it doesn't really like go that long with guys his
Yeah.
size, because they got so much pressure on their knees and ankles, and
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm interested to see how they use him. I think that Akira Tozawa thing it's like it's a little bit racist. You know what I'm saying? He got the Japanese dude running around, and he leading like a group of people like in a triad type thing. Like it's that shit is like, I mean, but
stereotypical at
it's
best, isn't it?
stereotypical as well. Yeah, that's the right thing. It's stereotypical as hell. But I mean, like when I'm looking at it, I'm like, when have people ever like cared about Akira Tozawa as much or been talking about him like ever? But like it's kind of
He's
messed up.
entertaining in the ring,
Yeah,
and he's.
he
I think
really
he's
is.
really. I think he's really entertaining generally. He's quite funny, and if they do look, I don't have a problem with it. It is a bit stereotypical. I don't have a problem with the gimmick if they do something with it, and they actually give Akira Tozawa a proper storyline with the Viking prophets or
He's
whatever,
the
and they.
I was about to ask you. Tozawa was the 24/7 champion, right?
I think he is now, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
But if they do like a proper feud and a storyline with them versus the Viking prophets or whatever, or they give him like a legit feuds, then I'm okay with it. I think. I'd like to see them maybe move away from the ninja stuff and just have like a little stable behind him with this massive guy, and just do it that way and give him something to do. It's difficult though, isn't it? Like you got Bruce Pritchard in charge now, so he's basically booking for Vince rather than the fans. You haven't seen Aleister Black for weeks. They haven't really done much with Gaza
Man, what
and
happened to
Andrade
the Ricochet and Alexander team? Still happening
oh
that.
god damn mate.
Could have been
Ricochet will go down as one of the most wasted WWE opportunities of all time. Guy should have been a future WWE champion, should have been a bona fide main event star, and they have just. He's on main event doing nothing. It's embarrassing, mate. Embarrassing.
But you want to? I really want people to go watch the. I think they did a tag team match on last week's main event. It was him, Alexander, and Buddy Murphy in the same. Bro, they tore it down.
It's no
Like
surprise. Look at that
like
talent.
like I'm talking about like 205 live days when bro. Do you remember when it was Ali, Murphy, and Alexander just crushing it on 205
Every
live,
week.
bro?
Every week.
Every week, bro. It was like, I lie to you now. It was like at least one banger on 205 live every week. Like they had like at least like one
A
match
main event every week was just
every
incredible,
week,
mate.
every week. Like it was something. It was either Leo Rush, Alexander, Ali, Murphy, Gulak. So it was somebody out there just killing it every week. Like, but 205 Live had to be like one of the most wasted opportunities, bro. Like I'm telling you, like all those dudes could have been involved in so many different title pictures. Like I remember that part, that time when everybody wanted Pac Neville to be just go to the main roster, like win the Intercontinental title or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, why would you not do that? Like, dude, like is everybody was like, it's like one of the best heel runs of his career. Like, I think probably the best heel in WWE at the time in 2017, winning the WrestleMania. Like everybody was loving it.
Yeah, it was a great run. And there was a couple of times where they built 205 Live up to look like it could be something, and then they just would pull the rug out from underneath it. Another bit of news was that Charlotte is going to have some surgery and taking some time off. They think I saw one report saying she might not come back until the end of the year, maybe like Royal Rumble time, which is a massive, massive loss for the WWE. When you think she's been on Smackdown, Raw, NXT for the last month or so, Becky Lynch is away having a baby. Charlotte's now away. They are Bailey and Sasha in a tag team. They're running thin. Outside of Oscar, Kyrie, maybe they'll have to lean on Kyrie Zane, potentially being an opponent for Oscar. You've got Nikki Cross getting a title shot. I was really happy to see that. That she was the one they went with to feud with Bailey. Even I don't expect her to beat Bailey, but I think that's refreshing to have someone fresh and new in the title scene on SmackDown. But what do you think about Charlotte going away for a bit?
Well deserved. We'll take a break.
Goddamn. She does everything, doesn't she?
We'll take a break.
Media and stuff.
Bro, she does so much media, bro. Like you do not understand how much like Charlotte information I find like for the news. Like she does so much media for WWE, like it is crazy. And then she works damn near every show, so like well deserved. Go take a break, go rest on the work that you put in. Like
Yeah,
well
well
deserved.
done.
Like so, like when you work that hard, bro, like just it's time. And it, bro,
Yeah,
like I remember me and you did the podcast like a months back, even before the coronavirus stuff started. We were talking about how WWE just needs to give Charlotte a break, like,
yeah.
and let people miss her a
And
little bit.
she's done even more since then as well.
Exactly. Like they need to let people admit, like people go always saying, oh, why people get tired of Charlotte Flair? I'm like, bro, because she's on TV every Monday, every
She's
Wednesday, every Friday. Like, bro,
always in the title picture.
people not want to see, like you gotta give her a break. Let people I promise you, let Charlotte be off TV for like a few months. She come back, she get a big pop. I promise you. People are
Yeah.
going to miss Charlotte Flair. Like, and then they're going to realize why they miss her. Like,
But
just
what they should be doing is they should build Kyrie Sane. They should build Nikki Cross. They should build
Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan. They should Ruby Riott. There's some real
So
talent there to
real,
build.
real quick, well, one thing I was thinking was like I know Liv Morgan's like on a losing streak. So one thing I was thinking about doing is like maybe if she goes on a consistent losing streak and it just gets to a point where like she just has like a breakdown in the middle of the ring doing like an interview segment or something, and she just like fed up with losing. Maybe she gets recruited by Seth Rollins' stable, and then like
Yeah, it could be interesting.
she is like as soon as she gets with them, she goes on the winning streak. And then
Yeah,
that's the way to build her up as a credible challenge to the Raw Women's title. Like bro, like WWE, like it's not hard to make stars, bro. Like people think like it's this thing where you know of course we have factor as fans, of course we have saying and who's a superstar in that, but like WWE, all you have to do is make people care. Like you make people care
yeah,
about these people, they would be stars. Look at Drew McIntyre, they finally put some effort into Drew McIntyre. Now look at him, damn WWE champion. And you want to know what happened? Like people did not care that much about Drew McIntyre 2 years ago. Like I couldn't give a damn about Drew McIntyre when he was doing that whole thing with the Shield and teaming with Baron Corbin and shit. Like
yeah,
I could not care less about that man. And now look at him. I think he's doing a real good job, and I kind of think he getting like the you know the shit in at the title run because there ain't no fans, and he can't really you know really gauge how people are you know really reacting to him. But like yeah, man, I feel like you know they WWE they got so many talented people. Like where the hell is Bianca Belair? Like
yeah.
what?
God damn, what are
Like bro,
they
they
doing?
like bro, she got caught up 2 months ago. Where is she?
They if they weren't going to use her, she could have been on NXT,
NXT.
killing it.
Like come on, man. What the hell
You
happened to
know,
Chelsea Green?
yeah. They just. I hope they do something with some of these girls and really, really do something because Oscar and Bailey are the champions. They could have some great matches with Bianca Belair, with Chelsea Green, with Liv Morgan, with Ruby Riott, with Nikki Cross. You could Lacey Evans. You could have so many good matches and fresh, interesting matches. They teased the Riot Squad reunion a little bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be against them as a tag team and go after Bailey and Sasha. I'd be
Speaking
down for
of
that.
speaking of wrestling, did you hear about Sarah Logan? Said she's stepping away from
She's
wrestling.
done, yeah.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if
she comes back.
if
Yeah,
well, I wouldn't be surprised if she wants to have a family, which I obviously do not have no idea if she does or not. Obviously, they got married last year or the year before. When this would probably be the time to do it. You've got your husband working in WWE, getting a good, solid wage, and you've just been let go. Do you want to go and do the indies and all that sort of stuff?
she's still getting paid too because her non-compete not up till next month.
Yeah.
So
So if she, if they do want to start a family, I would say now seems like a pretty good time. So, whatever
like
she wants to do, good luck to her.
just from her statement, it just seemed like she kind of like mentally burned out. Like
Yeah,
just
I heard. I
because she said like wrestling is all she knows. She was a teenager, so it's like she just wanted to do different shit. Like it's time to do something different. Like I don't blame her. Like she just burned because she probably just burned out. Like you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like she put her all in the WWE or gave as much as she could over the past 3 years with the Riot Squad and all that stuff, and then it just got split up, and then like that was it after that.
Did
Honestly,
nothing with them
yeah,
after
they
that
did
today.
nothing with her after that. So yeah, that was that
It's
was that.
interesting. I heard someone, or I read something. I don't know which way. I either heard someone on a podcast or read it that maybe she's got an interest in MMA. I don't know how true that
No,
is.
because she has done some MMA training.
Oh, okay.
I think that's where people got that from. She has done some MMA
Right.
training. But
Looks like
one quick plug before we
yeah.
go. I
Go
gotta
go go.
plug it. Gotta plug it. I interviewed OTT founder Joe Cabray last week. Real detailed interview. I edited out the portions that were David Starr, Jordan Devlin, and Scotty Davis heavy. You know, just out of respect. You don't want to have that like having praise for their names. And
No, no.
the interview was conducted on June 15th, a few days prior to the Speaking Out movement. So I went ahead and edited all that stuff out. But yeah, we still have some real good stuff. He talked about OTT's women's division and the plans he has for them. He said that the coronavirus could have sank OTT. Like it could have really taken them out of business. He talked about John Moxley's donation to the OTT GoFundMe. Like I don't know if any of you guys saw that, but after the Scrapper Mania got canceled, Moxley went under his real name and donated a lot of money to the fund, and he didn't say anything about it, but people, obviously saw it, and Joe Cabray saw it, and he thanked Moxley for it, and just showing love, and he said he hopes that Moxley can come back one day. And he said Moxley has said that he wants to come back and wants to go there and actually fulfill his his duty. Like that obviously ain't gonna happen against David Starr.
No.
But he said Moxley does want to come back and do something with OTT.
God, what a guy! What a guy! Renee Young, among others, got the coronavirus.
Renee, Adam Pearce, and Kayla Braxton. So far, that's the public ones that I've seen.
And there's apparently at least another 3 or 4 I heard, which obviously haven't.
So I did want to get your thoughts about Kayla Braxton, because she I seen a lot of people like they were on her head like when she announced it, because she said she had it in March and she didn't say nothing, like she just went back to work like after she recovered.
I didn't know that.
Like
so what happened?
She
had it in March.
She tweeted out that she had coronavirus in March and she didn't say anything, and then once she recovered, then she went back to work. But I don't know what recover means. Like, did you mean you just felt better, or did you actually get cleared of coronavirus, or did you mean you just like felt better overall? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
that's ropey.
And then she like deleted her Twitter. Like, and like you know what I'm saying? I ain't one of those people that's gonna be all like harping on people on social media. You know what I'm saying? Be under wrestlers' Twitter posts calling them all type. Like that's some sucker shit. Like I don't do that stuff. But like bro, you cannot be that irresponsible, bro. Like,
God, no.
If you like, do you know how many people you could have helped? Like real doctors, like that would have loved to have talked to you, or got some of your blood samples or anything like that, like to see how you recovered from coronavirus, and then you catch it again. Like,
Jesus Christ. And that's the thing, mate, is it's worrying. Like, when she says recovered, she could have been, if she wasn't tested and stuff, she still could have been carrying it.
Right.
She could have given it to other people. Could have caused all sorts of problems. And like, I gotta say, WWE, it's no surprise that they finally ended up getting some of their employees or their independent contractors contracting the disease, because
people probably been had it. The only reason they ain't never know because they never test nobody.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying to you. I saw someone tweet with a serious, they were being serious. They said everyone's complaining about the WWE, all these people getting coronavirus, but they've been doing shows all the way through, and they've never had one person, or they've had one person test positive. And I was like, you cannot be that stupid and that ignorant that you don't understand that the reason they haven't had any positive tests is because they haven't been testing people.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Yeah,
and it's
man.
like,
that's
this was coming. They didn't want people to wear masks, which I think is incredibly irresponsible. They sell masks on their website. Give those masks to people in the crowd to wear. Promote your shit if you have to, but don't tell the people they can't wear masks.
Right.
I noticed that this week, after the backlash, of people kind of saying, you can't be telling people not to wear masks, but then also telling them to.
Do y'all see that clean haircut on my boy? Do y'all see the clean haircut on my boy's side? The flag. Look at the smile. Look at him.
Beautiful.
Young Cardiff devil right there. Look at him.
Fresh. Luckily, the weather's been good. I think it's going to be a bit cold.
Well, like what is it like? What's the weather like in Cardiff?
It's been real hot the last couple of days.
Right.
Wednesday was like real hot. Like, I don't know.
Is it starting to like open up over there? Like, I think starting to, or is it like kind of?
Yeah, a little bit. So, well, in Wales, we're still you're allowed to go and visit one other household, and you're not allowed to go in the house, but you can, from social distance, you can speak to them and stuff, as long as it's within 5 miles of your house. But in England, which is obviously, it's still in the UK, it's not far.
Right.
From I think 4th of July, they're opening up pubs and everything's kind of reopening pretty much. Pretty much as normal, but still wanting people to social distance and stuff.
I saw the they was going crazy in the UK for the Premier League championships or something like that. It was like burning.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Liverpool
won the league. Yeah, but do you know what? Right, they opened the beaches, and there was something they reckon in these 3 beaches up by kind of Bournemouth. They reckon 500,000 people were on those beaches over the weekend.
Wow, that's not good.
And I was just like, Jesus flipping Christ.
But I know Corona.
And do you know what?
Corona was over there doing the moonwalk.
So the schools reopen, I think, next week. So our schools are opening like 1 or 2 days a week.
For real?
My kids are not going.
Okay.
Because I'm still shielding because of my health problems. So my kids are not going to school. But those same people who are on the beach, like 500,000 of them, they'll be the same people who are not sending their kids to school because it's too dangerous. And it's like, oh, you went to the flipping beach.
Right.
It baffles. I get frustrated about it, mate, because me and my family have stuck to the rules. We've stuck to what we're being told to do. And then I see other people just going about and doing whatever the flipping hell they want.
Right.
Like, I haven't seen my mum for nearly 4 months.
Damn.
You know, my mum's like, I think 64, 65. You know, but she's not getting any younger.
Oh yeah. I know what you're saying.
And it's like, me and my kids haven't seen her for 4 months.
Right.
You know,
have y'all considered doing like one of those drive-by things?
What?
Like,
what
no,
like, put her out of her misery. Yeah, she's getting old now. Just put it down. Put it down.
Not one of those things. But me and my family, we did one for my grandmother because she's 60. But we all met up like in a parking lot, like behind her house, and we drove past her house and like honked the horn and held up, just to
do something.
Because we ain't seen her in have how long. I don't think she might see us either because she ain't trying to get sick. But I remember when I called her a couple of weeks back, I was just talking to her and I was like, I'm gonna come see you. She was like, no.
No, thank you.
She was like, I love you so much. but no. She was like, I'm gonna see you when I see you.
Let's do another Zoom call.
But yeah, no, like not even until like 2 weeks ago, I was just starting to get my hair cut again. 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I started going because it seemed like stuff was starting to open back up. But I don't even go to the barber shop. I just go to my barber's house and he cuts me outside. So, still ass thing and stuff like that. And I make sure he don't touch my face. I don't like him to touch my face. But
don't touch me, bro.
Touch my face. But yeah, man, like I kind of like that. I kind of like that conversation we just had. That felt like the old days when we just jumped from random topic to topic.
Yeah, man, we always do it. And jumping from another topic.
Wait, real quick.
Go on.
But I was about to say we Impact Slammiversary coming up. Miss Tessa Blanchard got terminated.
Gone.
From
do you
Impact
think she goes to WWE or AEW, or do you think
if she goes to AEW, they are the biggest hypocrites in the world because they literally just they say Hulk Hogan and Linda Hogan are banned for using racist terms. So you Tessa Blanchard in who use a racist term, using word, they bring her in. But I mean, you know, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be some promotion out there that's gonna want to bring her in. Like, come on now.
Look, if you look at it from a purely business point of view, WWE, Charlotte and Becky are out. You bring in Tessa Blanchard to go on a tear on Raw.
Yeah.
And then when Charlotte comes back, you've got a ready-made Flair versus Blanchard feud.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
That's big business, isn't it, for WrestleMania season?
So this as far as AEW, I'm not gonna go like be like, you know, criticizing them and
outraged.
I'm not that, but I'm just saying like the fact that they went out of their way to, and they rightfully so, you know, ban Hulk Hogan and Linda Hogan,
of course,
saying racist terms, and then like you just up and bring Tessa Blanchard, who also used one leg, like, you know, that don't sit right with me. But I definitely do think it's gonna be promotions out there that's gonna want to bring her in, like when the independent scene gets back up and running. Like I know I don't know if you saw, but GCW ran a show.
No, I didn't know.
They did an outside show. They did a show outside, and it was like social distance and stuff like that. And it was a good show. And ICW New York doing a show on July 4th, and GCW doing a show on July 4th. Like it seemed like promotion starting to open back up, man. Like everything's starting to, you know, get back.
What we need, mate.
Yeah, but Impact on top of them letting Tessa Blanchard go. They got the what's the name, Slammiversary coming up. They promoting some former world champions coming to the show. What you think they gonna do in the with their world title bout? Because it was supposed to be Tessa versus Elgin versus Eddie Edwards versus Trey versus somebody else in a 5-way for the world title, but Tessa's gone. And what's the name? Yeah,
I think that they've been teasing a returning main eventer, and I believe that if it's EC3, for instance,
they
just put EC3 in the main event.
They played it. They played his song during the show. His old theme song, his old TNA theme song during the show. So that's gonna see with that, and then it's gonna be Deonna Purrazzo versus Jordan Grace for the Knockouts title, and Rich Swann versus Chris Bay for the X Division title at Slammiversary. So yeah, we gonna see, man. We gonna see, and we got Fyter Fest coming up next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Great American Bash.
Jesus. You can't even hate on them, bro. Like, didn't you like notice?
Why wouldn't you do it though?
That's what I was like. Why wouldn't you do it? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they wanted a pay-per-view. Like, I mean, besides, didn't you like initially, like when you found out that the AEW was going to do the 2-night Fyter Fest thing live on TNT for free? Didn't you think WWE was going to do something like?
Yeah, like they were either going to just stack up their NXT.
Cards, right.
Or they were going to use one of the many trademarks that they don't use.
Right.
Why wouldn't you? Just before we move to NXT and AEW, just to finish off on those two, I wanted to speak to you really about the promo work in Edge and Randy Orton's feud has been phenomenal.
For sure.
Every single promo from both those guys has been incredible.
The promo work has been very fantastic. I'm still not a big fan of Randy Orton, you know, after everything that went down, you know, but Randy Orton has seemingly, you know, look like he's smarted himself up about, you know, the Black Lives Matter movement and all that stuff. I really still don't care what he got to say, but you know, the promo work has been very excellent from both Edge and Orton. I feel like Edge is like doing some of the best promo stuff that he's ever done. Like I always like the tone he has. Like it always seems like he starts off like real quiet and then like he just ups it like just randomly.
Intensity.
Intense. I love that stuff. Yeah, Edge is the man, bro. Like
I think. Do you think we see Christian come back for that match against Orton because Edge is injured?
I think Christian gonna wrestle Orton at SummerSlam.
Yeah, and I think it'll be a great little thing. I think when we see Christian, if we see like like Orton will be doing something heinous on Raw, and then Christian will return being held back by people as he gets up the ramp and he'll jump on Randy Orton and stuff. I think they've really built the story really well actually,
right.
And I think when you think how they've recovered it from WrestleMania, where you know the match went too long. it just wasn't quite there, and people were a bit. They've recovered really well. They've had a great match. Their promo work has been great. Their storytelling's been great, and I think that's that's testament to the we criticise the WWE enough that I think that they deserve a little bit of credit for the way they've recovered the storyline, because
Yeah.
I wasn't interested in them continuing this feud after WrestleMania, and I think they've done very, very well. Can I ask you a question? Who is Mike Quackenbush?
He's a Russia car, and he's like a wrestling trainer, and like yeah, that's essentially it. Honestly, like he's a wrestling trainer. Like he ran Shakar, and he's like was very well trusted by a lot of people in wrestling as someone who had just a lot of knowledge and information about wrestling and selling and character work and all that stuff. Like he was very well trusted in pro wrestling, and like had a lot of people that would go to bat for him. So I think that's why you see a lot of people covering it, because a lot of people were like very disappointed.
Right, got you. So yeah, I'd like to. Bailey and Sasha have been all over the place. They've been on NXT. They've been on Raw. Having
Sasha
some good
2 belts.
Smackdown. They've been having some real
Sasha
good
2
matches.
belts. Here we go.
Having some good matches, mate. Good matches. Tag team matches. I love a tag team match. I would like to see them feud. I'd like to see them have a proper 20-minute match versus the reunited Riot Squad at SummerSlam. I would love to see that, but I don't think we will, because I would imagine that we're going to see Bailey versus someone at SummerSlam. Don't know who yet. I kind of hope they don't rush into Sasha, because they've lost a couple of people, but I think they might. Okay, so let's finish off just talking some AEW and some NXT.
Shall we make Fyter Fest predictions? I got the match card.
Yeah, go for it, man.
That's good. So for everybody who doesn't know, AEW is doing Fyter Fest on July 1st and July 8th. I think they're gonna do the first show live, and the second show is gonna be taped after the first show, if that makes sense. So yeah, and it's both match cards are kind of stacked, honestly. And to combat that, NXT decided to bring out the Great American Bash, and they're gonna do a 2-night event as well on July 1st and July 8th to go head to head with AEW's Fyter Fest. So Great American Bash versus Fyter Fest, and just to bring it up before we get to NXT, headlining NXT on night 2 will be Keith Lee, NXT North American Champion, versus Adam Cole, NXT Champion, double title match, winner take all. I think Keith Lee might win. First black NXT champion since Biggie.
All right.
Since Biggie, I think that's right. Since Biggie in 2012. So.
Yeah, I can see that. The only reason I think they might keep it on Adam Cole is if they've got plans to move Keith Lee to the main roster, because they do like him.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at that at all, honestly.
And I wouldn't be surprised to put the 2 belts on Adam Cole, because he is like the NXT
that's their guy.
Stalwart.
No, that's their guy, bro. But
yeah, man, for sure.
But
Dexter Lumis, what do you think of him?
I like him. He's weird as hell.
Got something.
I like it.
We'll do the card. We'll talk about that now.
I like Dexter Lumis. Like, they found like the most random place in the world to build him from. I like it. Like, from who the hell lives in Recluse, Wyoming? Only Dexter Lumis would be from the Recluse, Wyoming. Like, it just makes sense. But going into Fyter Fest, ladies and gentlemen, Sal, I'm gonna need your predictions, because you rip off my stuff, and then you predict it as your own.
I have no memory of that.
So we got AEW World Tag Titles. We got Kenny and Hangman versus Chuck Taylor and Trent for the AEW World Tag Titles on night 1. I think Kenny and Hangman retain, and then they end up losing the titles to none other than FTR. I definitely think FTR is gonna get the early rub.
Yeah, I think they'll give it to FTR to further their kind of storyline that they're a better tag team than the Young Bucks. So winning the titles before the Young Bucks do makes the most sense. And then if I was booking it, I'd have them beat the Young Bucks in their first meeting, and then I'd have the Young Bucks finally
win the AEW. Right.
Their biggest show, which is what, Double or Nothing.
Next year,
Yeah, when's All Out?
it's September.
Yeah, All Out. I'd probably go with the Young Bucks winning the rematch.
Okay. And we got MJF and Wardlow versus Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus.
Wardlow and MJF are gonna murder them both. It's gonna be not a squash match, but it's gonna be one-sided, I think.
Then Wardlow, he beat Luchasaurus on Dynamite this past Wednesday. So I'm gonna go. I think Jurassic is yeah. I think MJF
I just
and
don't
Wardlow
see
win.
them beating either Wardlow or MJF is the problem.
Because I think MJF going to challenge for the AEW World Title at All Out. Definitely.
Especially because Jake Hager's on that list, isn't he, of allegations? Because I think they going to do Jake Hager versus John Moxley at some point.
They already did it.
When did I miss that? Oh yeah, they did that. I thought I read that they were going to revisit it and they were going to have another title match.
Plans
change. That's right.
And we got Private Party, Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn versus Santana and Ortiz. What's the name? Chris Jericho's going to be in. Matt Hardy's going to be in Private Party's corner. So I think Private Party's probably going to win.
I think it could be good for Private Party to win. I think that it would be a real good way to give them that big win over a big established team. However, I feel like Santana and Ortiz could do with a win themselves.
Santana just lost to Matt Hardy on Dynamite.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Santana and Ortiz to win.
Think so?
Yeah, even though I would like to see Private Party win, I feel like they need the win more. I've got a feeling that the Bookers, King Booker, will go with the Santana and Ortiz, formerly known as LAX.
So we got Hikaru Shida defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Penelope Ford. I think Shida takes this one all the way, no doubt about it.
I really struggle with the AEW women's division. I don't know what it is. I really like Penelope Ford. I really like Shida. I just can't get into their women's division at all. I just don't know what it is. I think this will be a good match, but I don't see them taking the title off Shida yet.
All right. I really think this, and this is just my speculation. I do think that it was supposed to be Chris Statlander in this spot, but she tore her ACL. So, I hope she gets better.
I like Penelope Ford, though. I think she's very, very talented, and I think she could go a long way.
So before we get to the next match, sir, which is the TNT Championship, Ricky Starks has signed with All Elite Wrestling. He has left the NWA.
Awesome.
Voluntarily left the NWA, and he went on to join.
The shit hit the fan.
and then went and joined All Elite Wrestling, got himself a contract. Now he's with AEW. Yeah, good, really good for him. And hopefully we see it. And also, former NXT talent Cesar Bononi was in the crowd on Dynamite. It was very interesting. Wonder what he's doing there. Maybe just visiting.
Getting ready for the push.
But then we got Cody defending against Jake Hager. I don't think Cody's losing his title.
No,
I don't think Cody's losing his title.
Not until Wardlow is ready to take it off him.
If he does, I'll be very surprised. Very surprised.
I'd be very surprised too.
Night 2, we got Lance Archer versus Joey Janela.
Actually, can I scrap that? Go back. Do you know who I think is going to take the TNT title off Cody eventually?
Who?
Nick Jackson. So there you go. That's my prediction. You heard it here first.
Ladies and gentlemen, if it's right, you will be seeing me tweet it.
How many times over the last 6 months when we've done our shows have I got stuff bang on? And by the way, Rusev's coming back to save Lana any week now. Oh no, you can't, Aiden. You've got no milk.
But we got we got Lance Archer versus Joey Janela.
I think Joey Janela's going to win this. Do you know why?
I do too.
Because
they got a new tag
they
team.
got this new thing with Sonny Kiss.
Have you seen these vignettes?
I saw one of them. Yeah, the one in the car.
Excellent. Like
very entertaining.
And then we got Nyla Rose in action. But Tony Khan said during the AEW Unrestricted podcast, she has a big announcement to make. So I'm interested to see what that is. That's kind of a nice way to like promote some stuff and not have it just be like, well, she's in action. She got a big announcement to make. So we're gonna see what that is. We got
she'll win that by squash and then make her announcement.
Definitely. But we got SC. Oh yeah, I wanted to ask you real quick before we wait. But yeah, we'll get to it. It's gonna come up. But we got SCU, Frank Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, and Christopher Daniels versus Dark Order, Brody Lee, Stu Grayson, and Colt Cabana. Yeah, Colt Cabana's in the Dark Order. But I wanted to ask you, so what did you think about when they went and recruited Anna Jay into the like?
It was good. I think a female
like
member.
That.
Yeah, man, I like that. Do you know what I think? I think that they're gonna tease Colt Cabana joining, and they're gonna like do the kind of cult, like they did to who was it?
Christopher Daniels.
No, was it Owen Hart? DX did it too. No, it was Jim the Anvil Neidhart when DX. Back. Yeah, man, DX like they made him a member, and he came out with him, and he was like, and then they turned on him, and I think they'll do that. They'll turn on Colt Cabana and they'll reveal a new member who will be someone else, basically. That's my prediction. Sorry, what was the other match, did you say?
No, but I was going to say SCU versus Dark Order. That was the match. I think Dark Order's going to win.
Dark Order's going to win. They got to rebuild Brody Lee now.
So now, the real main event. Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho's winning, bro. He's winning.
I'd be amazed if they put Orange Cassidy over Chris Jericho.
If he won, man, oh my goodness, if he won, that is crowd worthy. Like I wouldn't even waste that.
Yeah, I don't think I'd waste that victory on a crowd. Do you know what I would do? Is I'd have Orange Cassidy put up a great fight, have Jericho win and then run it back the first night they have fans.
And have Orange Cassidy
like your main event. First night they have a full crowd, or like a pretty full crowd. I would run it back as the main event on Dynamite and have Orange Cassidy go off air being held up by best friends and the crowd and whatever, after beating Jericho. That's what I would do.
And then we got the Butcher, the Blade, and the returning Lucha Bros who have not wrestled on TV together since February. Versus go ahead.
I was going to say I think the Lucha Bros are going to win because the UK is allowing people to fly out. So I would not be surprised to see a certain Mr. Pac turn up and help the Death Triangle win.
Make sure to get that tweet in my drafts.
Yeah, get it ready because you know I'm right.
So we got the Butcher, the Blade, and the Lucha Bros versus the Young Bucks and FTR.
FTR, man. FTR all day long.
So you think no, FTR and Young Bucks on the same team?
Ah, right, okay, yeah. Versus they're fighting the Lucha Bros, aren't they?
Look, it's the Butcher, the Blade, and the Lucha Bros versus the FTR and the Young. Yeah.
Sorry, bro. So I think if Pac is back, which I wouldn't be surprised because you're allowed to fly out the UK now, then I think they will tease distension between the Young Bucks and FTR. They'll have like a miscommunication. Then maybe Neville does nails him with a chair or something when the ref's not looking. They pick up the win, and you end with the FTR and Young Bucks maybe having like a bit of a shoving match after the match. I would probably go with that. If Pac is not there, then I'd go with FTR picking up the win without tagging in the Young Bucks. That would be quite interesting.
And it's very, very interesting to note that Fyter Fest was supposed to take place in the UK. So that was something.
Yeah, that would have been cool, man. Although I don't know if I'd want to do any shows in the UK at the moment. The wrestling scene is not doing well.
No, this was like a plan prior to the.
Okay.
Prior to all the coronavirus and speaking out allegations, like the show was supposed to be in the UK. You probably could have got that media pass, bro. Probably could have been up in there getting them questions in exclusive
Young Bucks on the podcast.
And then
Young Bucks.
And then the main event, we got Brian Cage challenging maybe John Moxley because Renee Young contracted coronavirus, and I think a lot of people have just tied that in, because Moxley
Yeah,
got pulled off
Moxley
of
got
Dynamite.
pulled, didn't
Yeah, so I think a lot of people kind of just put two and two together and just,
he?
it ain't nothing bad, but I mean they married, so I mean,
Yeah.
why wouldn't
Look,
they
it's
be together?
so I saw a lot of people saying because she's got it, he's definitely going to get it. It's not necessarily the case. So as you know, like a couple of months back, or not, like not a couple of months, but like probably 8 weeks, maybe 6 weeks. We thought my wife had it, so she isolated from us for 7 days, and it turned out to be a false alarm. But just because she had it didn't mean, or didn't just because we thought she had it, the doctor said like it didn't mean that I had it and the kids had it. It doesn't work like that. Even though you may sleep in the same bed, you may live in the same house, it doesn't work like that. So but equally, there's a good chance that he might have it because she's got it. It's just the way it is, isn't it? Let's be realistic. They're a young married couple living the dream life in Vegas. Is what it is. If he has got it or gets it, what should they do for the main event? It's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's like the whole card is like finished.
Yeah,
And
you
it's just
could
like
put
that.
Pac in there maybe against Brian Cage. That'd be a banger.
For the main event. I mean, you look. What I would do is honestly, like if they can't do Mox versus Brian Cage, I'm switching Cody and Hager tonight too, and have that. I'm
Yeah,
guessing close the, or you could always go to the Lucha Bros and FTR and the Bucks close night too, because like without Mox, I don't think that like
it's
you can't
difficult, isn't it?
you can't have the AEW like world champion. Like it's just not going to fit. Like Brian Cage is not going to close that
Yeah,
show.
you'd have to
Well,
go close the second night with the TNT title match
yeah, you're gonna have
and
to.
have the Young Bucks or the tag title match between uh,
Best friends and Omega and Paige.
Omega closed night one because it's a title match, or the women's title match maybe. If you're confident that it's going to be a good match, you could put that main event. That would be a
Yeah.
good signal of intention for the women's division, maybe. But I don't know. It's going to put them in a spot, mate. It's got to be said. I saw someone suggest on Twitter that I follow that if they do pull Jake Hager, like they've done with Sammy Guevara and Jimmy Havoc, if they were to pull Jake Hager, you could put Brian Cage versus Cody for the TNT title as a replacement. So
It ain't bad.
that's not a bad suggestion, is it?
But just as far as NXT and what they got going up against AEW for night one of the Great American Bash, we got Dexter Lumis versus Roderick Strong in a strap match.
It's gonna be a banger.
Gonna be a banger. And then mature prediction on this, we got Dakota Kai, Candice LeRae, Tegan Nox, and Mia Yim. 4-way match. The winner gets a shot at Io Shirai for the NXT Women's title. We can only assume that is going to happen on July 8th to go head to head with Fyter Fest. So I think it's only right to have Dakota Kai win because they've been teasing that for the longest. So I think it's only right to ever be the next challenger.
So it's Io Shirai, isn't it?
Yeah.
So my heart, if I could pick who win it, I would pick Tegan Nox because she's Welsh and I like her character. I think she's very popular.
Bias.
Yeah, I don't have to be independent. I'm not a journalist. I don't have to be independent. However, from a storyline and booking point of view, I think it makes the most sense to give it to Candice LeRae to reignite her feud with Io Shirai. And then Dakota Kai would be like a close second.
And then Rhea Ripley next week. Handicap match. Rhea versus Aaliyah and Robert Stone.
I don't really know what they're doing with this Robert Stone thing.
She gonna pin him.
I thought it was real promising as a gimmick for him to be like a modern day Bobby Heenan with like a load of heels managing them. I thought it was a good gimmick. I thought NXT could do something with it, and they just seem to have abandoned it a bit. They got rid of Chelsea Green's gone. Apparently, she was going to the main roster, and then no one's seen her.
That's what I thought.
Will they turn Rhea Ripley heel and put her with Robert Stone? Otherwise, what's the point in this?
Should have been on the main roster by now. Should have been on Raw or SmackDown.
But what's the? I don't see the point in this gimmick unless they're gonna do it.
Man,
I'm not saying I want to see it.
Hold, brother. Hold on, Si.
I'm holding, bro. I'm holding.
Hold on, I just saw something kind of big. Hold on, I gotta check it out. Hold on. We might got some action.
Breaking news.
We might got some action, brother. Hold on. Wait.
Ace Podcast Nation. Breaking news. Saturday nights. Exclusive.
To ruin our NXT return. The return that the NXT universe has waited literally years for, and ruin our victory, and ruin the Bayley celebration week. Are you freaking kidding me, Io Shirai? Who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? Coming out and saying that this is your NXT. Well, ding a dong. Hello? There would be no NXT without Bayley and I. So what do you say at the Great American Bash this Wednesday? Me and you, one-on-one. Because rent's due, boo-boo, and it's time to collect.
Oh no. It's going to be Sasha 2 belts. Sasha versus Io Shirai. Oh my word. That's going to be unbelievable.
That's a dream match right there, man.
And I tell you what else, mate. I would not be surprised
if they take the title.
They put that title on Sasha.
Yeah.
Damn. Because I really wanted Io Shirai as champ.
Nah, for real, bro. Like I think once they like officially, it's obviously official because they wouldn't ever release that video for no reason. But like, I feel like when they do, like really make it official, I think a lot of people gonna be like really disappointed if she don't win the title.
Yeah,
Sasha
fans are crazy as well.
So just from what you think, real quick, she got a Raw title match and an NXT title match. She got to win one of those, right? Like it ain't no way. Like she losing both of those. Like come on now. Like it is no way she losing both.
Yeah, she got to win. I think she will win one of them. I don't see them taking the title off Asuka because they've got no female real stars on Raw. They need Asuka to be strong. So I would say Asuka's going to win. So I think.
You think she might be Io Shirai?
Yeah, I just.
But so
she might she might beat her and then drop it a couple of weeks later back to her.
If she beats her, right, and then she's the NXT Women's Champion, and then go lose to Asuka. You know what I'm saying? Like it's.
Which one's first?
The NXT Women's title. That's next week.
But they could easily get around. Like they could have her when she's facing Asuka, like Asuka just about to win her, and then Bayley jumps in. Going back to the Rhea Ripley match, I don't see the point in it unless they're going to put Robert Stone with her. The only way they can do that is by turning her heel. And also, are you telling me they cannot come up with a better opponent for Rhea Ripley on a semi pay-per-view event than Aaliyah? I am not a fan of her work, I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
I don't have nothing against her, I don't hate her or anything. I just think, is there no better options? I know they've got 4 women in the other match, but is there no one? Could we not do Rhea Ripley versus someone? But where's Chelsea Green?
Where's Bianca Belair?
Yeah, Bianca Belair, God. It's depressing, that is. Right, so I'm going to go with Aaliyah and Robert Stone to win. Rhea Ripley will turn heel. She will annihilate Aaliyah after the match. She will join Robert Stone's brand, and they will build a stable of heels. Probably with Dakota Kai and, what's her muscle called? Raquel Gonzalez as the tag team of the stable. And then maybe like a young up-and-coming women from the performance center.
So we got some more breaking news.
Here we go. Ace Podcast Nation. Breaking news.
So, according to Ryan said in the Pro Wrestling Sheet, sources have told the site that Impact Wrestling has been heavily pursuing Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson for them to appear at Slammiversary on July 18th. And Impact has offered Gallows and Anderson incredibly strong deals that would allow for them to work in New Japan as well.
They're going back to the WWE, bro. I guarantee it.
Nah, I doubt it.
After they have done that show.
Slammiversary?
No, after they've done their what's it called? The one they're promoting themselves.
Yeah, Rocky Romero.
Yeah, after they've done that, I think they'll go back to the WWE. Breaking news on Ace Podcast Nation.
Yeah, but that's it, bro.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they have a little run in TNA if they pay the money. You know, the Good Brothers are all.
They work in New Japan as well, so
yeah.
Why wouldn't they take that? That's a good.
Has that been announced yet that they're going to work New Japan yet?
It's not announced, but like, come on now, like
get that Bullet Club reunion. I just want to see some new tag teams in New Japan, bro. We've been saying that for like a year.
Oh my goodness, I'm tired of Evil and Sonata versus God.
Give me the Good Brothers versus God, man. Machine Gun Carl Anderson back. That'll do me nicely.
And it's about time for us to machine gun this podcast, sir.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Roderick Strong to beat Dexter Lumis.
And Sasha Banks versus Io
Banks.
Bro.
Sasha Banks.
So let me ask you. That's main event in the show, right? Night one. They got to be.
I'd probably say that would be main event night one, and then the NXT title champion versus champion will be the
night two. Double, yeah.
Which show? Which match do you think opens night one?
Strong and Loomis.
Yeah, I think that, and then the NXT number one contender, women's number one contender match will open night two. That's my predictions. They'll add like another. They're gonna have to add another probably at least 4 matches. Two on each night.
I think they're gonna run Imperium versus Breezango versus Indu Share with Michael Bivens. I think they're gonna run it when Only Logan and Danny Burch. I think they're gonna run a 4-way.
Yeah. Punishment Mart, that might open night 2 actually, or night 1. They like opening with the men's tag teams, don't they? What about who's Punishment Martinez feuding with?
Cameron Grimes.
Yeah, so they'll probably have a match. They tried to turn Punishment Martinez face. I feel like these.
Yeah, they did kind of like, you know. Now I don't think they like fully did it, but they kind of like, you know, because he got beat by Finn Balor and he was just like, you know, Finn's the better man, and that was it. And then Cameron Grimes been kind of like bitching him on TV over the past couple of weeks, like he flattened his tires and.
So I just want to show you something. Just bear with me just a second.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I can feel it. It's some BS coming. I can feel it.
Man. Can you see that?
Oh.
Let me just remove this banner. Yeah. The letter from anonymous WWE performer reveals details on current backstage situation. Kevin Dunn didn't want people to wear a mask, and now, you know, people have got the virus. The letter mentions how talents have been told to keep their illness to themselves if they test positive. They are also not allowed to come out publicly to make statements on the matter. One positive in the letter was that the WWE revealed they'd take care of medical treatments. However, the performer went on to add that most people were not tested until last week. This was due to the company not believing in the validity of the testing being done. Kevin Dunn was said to have been completely against people wearing masks during the taping, going as far to make a scene twice over the PA to not wear masks. Thankfully, the company has now gone back on this stance for fans. Developmental talents were allowed to wear masks on Smackdown. The letter also states how some individuals have been attending packed beaches, parties, and recently opened amusement parks before refusing to mention this when it comes to being screened. You can read the full letter as well.
How about you?
What is wrong with these people?
How about you forget that and pull up Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel? How about that? Forget your anonymous letters and all that jazz. I'll see you see. I don't want to pull up the Andrew Thompson interviews. It's okay though. It's okay. I see how it is.
I have no memory of that. Oh, the shoe's on the other foot now, brother. I've stolen your gimmick. Stolen your memory gimmick. Tell people where they can find your stuff, the best news updates in wrestling media, by the way.
So they can find my work at postwrestling.com. You can check out all my interviews at Andrew Thompson Interviews. We'll have an interview up this coming Tuesday with a very familiar name that I think everybody knows. Everybody's gonna be really. I think it's a good interview. You know, he was doing a media tour, so the guy who was also in the interview kind of cut me off. So but it's all good. I still got my content in. But yeah, hopefully, hopefully everybody enjoys the interview. And it was a good. If you scroll down on the Andrew Thompson Interviews YouTube channel, folks, you can see I added some some subs in there, some subtitles. Yeah.
Audio only interviews, media scrums, and media calls. This shit is the real deal. This is some goddamn good shit. Look at this stuff. Look at this stuff.
Hit that subscribe, man.
Subscribe. Subscribe. How about now? I wasn't. I was not logged in.
Mm-hmm.
This is my son's account.
Exposed. But ladies and gentlemen, that is myself inside with another edition of Ace Podcast Nation that we call Keeping It Real with Cy and Andrew, the duo. We are back, and we will not. I will be sure that we will not miss another week. We will be back next week. We will be reviewing Fyter Fest. We will be reviewing Night 1 of the Great American Bash, Night 1 of Fyter Fest. Sasha Banks may be your new NXT Women's Champion, which will send shockwaves through the wrestling world, ladies and gentlemen. It might happen. And people will be very pissed because Io Shirai will have just lost the title after a couple of weeks of winning, which will make a lot of people very angry. And we will see. Because WWE kind of put themselves in a very difficult position. They treat Sasha Banks like shit, or they treat Io Shirai like shit. You can't go. It's either one or the other. So.
Yeah, you can't do both. It's going to be very, very, very interesting to watch, and I'm looking forward to both shows, mate. It's going to be amazing. Subscribe to youtube.com/Ace Podcast Nation. Got podcasts and all sorts of stuff, and we nailed down an exclusive podcast with a former Liverpool Football Club footballer, former England international, coming up 13th of July. A little tease for you football fans out there. We have audio shows coming, audio versions of all the shows. Subscribe to Andrew Thompson Interviews on YouTube. Follow at @ADThompson__ for the best wrestling updates and news in the world. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at ACEcast_Nation or at Ace Podcast Nation. Join us, and I will see you soon. We are